Did you know that 90% of the serotonin is created in your gut? You think that serotonin is in the brain, but only 10% of serotonin is created in the brain. Isn't that fascinating? Plants and how a seedling, I mean, she even like shows the vagus nerve and a seedling of a plant and compares it, and how like we are a garden, we are a literal garden, and we have to water ourselves, because the thing is that we're not noticing that our belief system is rooted in, if we're, how we, is it thorny ground, is it, stony ground, is it fertile ground, how are we watering it, what's the seeds that are growing, belief, thoughts, all those things. Words, sometimes we think that we feel because of how we think, but we need to realize that we need to pay attention to how we feel, and we can't disregard that and say, oh, I gotta think positive. No, we gotta understand the root of it, because then we can understand the fruit of it, which is the thoughts. So what are the beliefs, so that you can understand what's coming from it, right? So there's the root and the fruit. She did such a good job. Okay, so going back to where I was at. So we need to understand that when anger arises, there's this thing called the sympathetic nervous system, right? So there's the sympathetic nervous system, and that's an activation that's happening. So it's a fight response. So you know that there's a fight and the flight, which, in some scenarios, and God created us so uniquely, because we need to have that. If you're in a dangerous situation, like, you need to run away. If you're gonna get bit by a dog, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna fight back, you're gonna run. So our system tells us that there's something that is wrong. So we need to pay attention to these things. So when we ignore our anger, or are refusing to express our anger, and we do not release our anger, that's when the rush of anger energy, that fight system, releases into the body, and it will stay there if we don't intentionally release it. So when it comes to anger, repeat this: it's better out than in. Say better out than in. This exercise is one way to release anger from your body.